Well, howdy everyone. I want to do a review on Sluggo Plus, and the reason is I have a bunch of plants out in the garden that are in self-watering planters, and something has been eating the crap out of the leaves. They just have these big ragged holes in them, and I was gonna let it go, but I found out that what I thought was snail damage was actually earwigs. Now, I've seen earwigs before, and I never really thought they could cause that extensive damage to plants, but apparently they can, because when I went online, I saw all kinds of pictures of pepper plants that looked just like mine. So when I did some research, I found out that earwigs, basically, they breed now and then they overwinter in the soil as a nymph, and they come out again in the spring. So I decided it was time to do something about it now. Even though it's kind of too late for my plants, it will help next gardening season because there won't be all that population overwintering, and from the damage they've done, there must be quite a lot of them. And how I found out about it was almost by accident, because one of them actually ate inside one of my peppers, and I found them in there. And then I started doing some research, and I found out those were the culprits. So Sluggo Plus is an organically rated product. Originally, I was going to buy Corey's slug and snail bait, and actually, it's probably not as effective as this, and it can be harmful if eaten. This contains a chemical called iron phosphate, and also another ingredient is spinosad, and that is a byproduct of a bacteria that kills insects. So the combination of the two should do the trick. And if I get a close-up of this label here, it kills earwigs, cutworms, sow bugs, pill bugs, slugs, and snails. And you can see that little label there, it's OMRI certified. So I picked up a pound of this from Amazon. It was about 12 bucks, so not real expensive. And I think it's going to do the trick, so I am going to go down and apply it. Now, I don't see why it wouldn't work. And I'm looking at the directions here, and basically what they're saying is you want to sprinkle it, not mound it up around your plants. And it's helpful if the soil is moist but not wet. And that's pretty much the gist of it. A pound, they say, which is what I got, treats 2,000 square feet, and it lasts up to 4 weeks. It will, they say, and I'm sure it will, kills listed insects, snails, and slugs too, and use it around vegetables, fruit trees, citrus, berries, ornamental shrubs, flowers, trees, lawns, gardens, and in the greenhouse. So it's pretty safe. The other slug bait type preparations, the stuff is poisonous, and if your pets eat it or kids eat it for some reason, it can be toxic. But this primary thing that does the work, I think, is the iron phosphate, and that's relatively harmless. Otherwise it wouldn't be classified as it is, and even the EPA classifies this as a low-risk pesticide. However, it is a pesticide because it kills pests. The main thing I see is right now is getting a jump on next year. I really watched this go on all year, and I just really could not imagine at this point that earwigs could do that much damage. I mean, I haven't gardened outdoors in quite a while, but I have in the past, and you'd always see earwigs, but you'd never really see much damage. But there must really be a heavy population of them here, and they really like peppers. They didn't eat much on my tomatoes at all because the foliage is poisonous. I had some small peppers that I put in that were totally destroyed. They were basically eaten down to nothing. The only thing I thought of that could do that much damage was a bunch of garden snails. You know, and I went and I looked for them, and I found a few, and I got rid of them. I didn't kill them. I just tossed them away because, you know, if you're a snail and you go like 2 doors down, that's like going around the world to get back, and you'll probably find something else to eat along the way. So, but the earwigs, they hide usually during the day, like snails do, and they come out and they feed at night. So, I mean, really, going out there with a flashlight at night and trying to squish them is not realistic. And this stuff is Sluggo Plus, and hopefully it's going to do the job. It's made by Monterey, and it is available on Amazon. And I'm going to pause this video and go down to the garden and apply this stuff, and then I will come back and I'll probably do a review, but I really won't be able to show if it works or not because my plants are pretty much done. My peppers are done. I'm going to probably pull the last couple of peppers off today, and you know, it would be hard to tell if it was effective or not, but I'm assuming it will be, and I actually don't really think I will notice a difference this year, but it should make a big difference next year, and that's kind of what my goal is. I don't want things getting eaten the way they were eaten again this year, and I procrastinated. But it's probably a good thing because I was going to put down slug bait, and that probably would not have been as effective against the earwigs as this will be. So take that as it is. It's not I am not promoting procrastinating, but I just felt like it wasn't worth poisoning stuff to kill something because they weren't affecting the fruit that much, and the plants seemed like they could, most of them seemed like they could handle it, so I put it off. But what happens is then you find out they breed, not surprising, and they overwinter, and then they come out again, and the cycle starts all over. So fall seems like the best time to break up the cycle. Probably won't get them all, but I should get enough of them that when I plant out in the spring and I reapply, it'll take care of anything that's left over. So, okay, going back down to the garden now. Okay, so I'm out in the garden, and I got my Sluggo Plus here, and actually I should say what's left of the garden, and I'm going to apply it to some of these plants here. It's just little pellets. This one here had 4 peppers in it. You can only see the remnants of 1 or 2 of them. You can see how much damage these things did. I'm shocked. I mean, they totally ate up the other ones. There was one in each corner, and they did a number on it. It's already Labor Day weekend, so we are looking at probably about 56 days. These plants have been tied up with plastic bags because I couldn't find my string. There are some nice tomatoes on here, and I see a few of them are starting to turn red. I cut the tops off because I didn't figure anything on here now was going to flower, and I wanted to concentrate this plant's energy into ripening the fruit. These peppers are pretty much done. You can see the holes that are eaten in them, and they were worse than that. I took some leaves off, so I've pretty much harvested all the peppers on these plants here. I've left a couple on this one here because it's supposed to be a red pepper, and I want to see if it'll turn red. But look at all the holes in the leaves. I mean, I am amazed. You know, it's like I said, I've had earwigs before in my gardens, but they never did much damage. I mean, I just thought they were kind of a novelty with those little pinchers on the end, but holy crap, they decimated these peppers. I mean, these were big enough that they couldn't kill them, but the other ones were small enough that, yeah, I mean, anyway, it's like I said, it's Labor Day weekend. This season is winding down. I believe, like I said, I think it's 56 days that these have been out. They went out July 5th, and it has not been the best summer for growing. We haven't even had a 90-degree day this year. I guess that's growing in Western Washington. We've had a mix of like a lot of morning clouds, afternoon sun. It's kind of overcast a little bit right now, and it rained a couple days this week, and then we had a couple of mixed days, and they say that this next week is supposed to get warmer and sunnier with temperatures back in the 80s, but we actually had a couple of days where temperatures were down in the 60s this past week. So that makes it hard to ripen tomatoes, and it still looks like these might all ripen. If I'm lucky, we get some decent weather, they will. So that's what's going on here. The grow buckets have worked really good, all things considered, and I'm hoping that this Sluggo Plus works as well as the grow buckets did. And like I said, this is the time of year when they breed, and then they have a larval stage that they spend in the ground, from what I've read, and then they come out again in the spring, and the whole cycle starts all over. So I really probably should have got on these much earlier, but I would have been treating for the wrong thing, because I was really thinking all this damage was from snails. I just didn't think an earwig could make those big of holes, but I guess they can. Like I said, they ate through some of one of my peppers, and so anyhow, that's about it. You know, I could try to update, but I don't know that at this point I will know if the Sluggo Plus works or not, because the season's about over. But I'm hopeful, and hopefully I'll come back and update this anyway, because I still got tomatoes on here, and I got a couple of peppers, you know. And as for the rest of it, well, whatever. These are my carnivorous plants, if you haven't seen any of my other videos. And nothing eats them. They eat bugs, but apparently they don't eat earwigs, or they don't eat enough of them. And so that's pretty much what's going on here. Got a couple young ones, got a couple Roma tomatoes, and there's a tomato that's almost ready, and there's a few more, and a few on this one, and I think I see a red one way down at the bottom too. Well, it came off, so I guess it's ready. And these are more of a paste tomato. They do well here. They don't have a long growing season, and they taste pretty good. And then I got this one over here, and she just started. I mean, this is the latest plant. The thing is here, it's already fall, you know, the days are noticeably shorter, and because there's a building behind me, they get shaded sooner and sooner each afternoon, to where by 3 o'clock they're pretty much in the shade even if the sun is out. So not a whole lot more is probably going to happen here, but I will come back and I'll keep you all updated. And till then, take care, happy gardening, and I'll see y'all later.